welcome to Square Real News. I'm Ben.
And I'm India.
This week we're on Charlotte Street at Chef Yun Tanaka's new restaurant, The Ninth, and in a few moments the chef will be telling us why this first solo project is so dear to his heart. But before then, we've got this week's hottest new restaurant openings to tell you about.
Yep, we certainly have. The first one is Cubana. It's come to Smithfield from Waterloo, where it's been over 20 years. They deal in cocktails, coffee, Cuban and Creole food, so lots of C's there. Definitely one to give a try to because they've been around a long time. What else have we got, Ben?
At the other end of the price spectrum, we've got Tokimeitē, a very sophisticated and upscale new Japanese restaurant on Conduit Street in Mayfair. This comes from chef Yoshihiro Murata, who some viewers may remember from his restaurant Krisan at Broadgate in the city. This guy is as big as they come in his native Japan. He's got 7 Michelin stars over there, and I'm sure that he'll be hoping that his new place in Mayfair is going to add to that tally.
Continuing with the Japanese theme, but not quite as high-end, is Kanada-Ya in Panton Street in Soho. They're into pork ramen noodles, so definitely a good one for the winter. And the best thing about it is this branch you can book for groups over 5, so none of that queuing around the corner.
Hate queuing.
Yeah, rubbish.
Let's go and talk to you now about what makes the Ninth so special and why we should all be coming here.
Hopefully try some of that food as well.
Fingers crossed.
To sum up Ninth in 5 words, I would say warm, inviting, French, Mediterranean and sharing. One of my favourite dishes has to be the salted beef cheeks with oxo consommé and charred cabbage. Now what I did was take the traditional beef cheeks, which is usually cooked with red wine and port and veal stock. Delicious but can be very heavy, so I made a lighter version of it by making a salt beef out of beef cheeks and serving in a light flavoursome oxo consommé. My other favourite dish is the cured mackerel. So on my menu I'm doing a lot of brining, pickling and curing. So I've taken the fillet mackerel, salted it, pickled it in rice vinegar, just very lightly, and served it with a dressing with capers, shallots and cucumber. Really fresh, light and vibrant. Inside a tip of diners, sit on this table. It's a really nice view over Charlotte Street. Got beautiful pendant lighting, it's warm. As you walk in on the ground floor, you don't necessarily realise there's an upstairs, but definitely ask to be seated upstairs.
Does this table have a number, by the way, that people
It does.
request?
But I haven't learned the table numbers.
Okay.
My favourite ingredient right now is the humble Jerusalem artichokes. I love the flavour of it. It's got a slight nutty flavour. We make a puree and serve it with a lamb en croûte. London's next restaurant trend will be soba, which is Japanese buckwheat noodles. Now everyone loves ramen. Big explosion of ramen shops everywhere in London. Udon, there was a big thing. Soba will be the next trend because it's a healthy version of ramen and udon, and it's a real speciality and a real art to make great soba. I think when guests come to the Ninth, I think what makes us stand out is a combination of the service, the food and the ambience. You know, when I first came up with this idea, the most important part was to have the feeling that friends and family were coming around to my house to eat. And from the service to the decor to the food, that has to be the number one priority, and making guests feel incredibly comfortable and warm and happy.
Well, Yun's house sounds amazing. If this restaurant looks like where he lives, I wish I was his flatmate.
I know.
Thanks very much to Yun and all of his team for hosting us here at the Ninth this week. Make sure that you book a table here because this looks like it's going to be a complete treat.
This table in particular, apparently, we hear it's in the 20s. We're not quite sure what number, but corner, top floor. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and book through Square Meal using the code SUPER18 for the chance to win a really fab prize. See you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.